All right. How's it going, everybody? It's Poe. Just wanted to do a live. I think I'm gonna jump on TikTok too, and I'm gonna jump on probably Talk Shoe. But I want to do a couple of lives. I got a couple of things I want to talk about. I want to talk about Undisputed. I want to talk about the content creator thing that they're going to next week. And it's a couple of questions I got. I want you know I don't know if it's I want them answered, but what's the criteria for the whole content creator event? And a lot of people saying, why is it just content creators? Why is it not regular people, regular gamers, and just content creators? And I think that's a good question to ask because content creators are like they help the company sell the game. They literally that's what they do. When they give good reviews and they play the game and their channels watch the fights and stuff. So it's trying um SCI Steel City, they're trying to build the fan base back up. But my thing is they're worrying about the fan base. You gotta worry about selling that DLC. Because if you don't have any fans buying that DLC, you got a lot of things that you gotta worry about. For one, they're gonna have to come out their pockets to pay these boxers. Because a lot of boxers they only signed on for the DLC. That's what I keep trying to tell these people that's not intelligent about. I'm not saying you're dumb. These people, because you don't know. That's not intelligent about how it works with DLC. Their their mindset is keep saying, "Well, they're rich. They should be giving it to us for free." That's not how business works. No matter how rich somebody is, they still want to make generational money. They want to still have more money. I don't understand that concept. They should give it to us for free. Now let's think about it this way. All right, they give it to you for free. The company is the one that's getting their piece off of it, and the box is getting their piece off of it. Now imagine the box is just saying, "All right, just give it to the fans for free." Company ain't gonna do that. They probably give you like a couple of boxes like they doing now, and they're gonna make their money off of the boxes. You can say give it to them for free or whatever, but it's a business. It's a lot of boxes. It's business. You look at it like, oh, he's a millionaire. That money. I've seen people that had billions of dollars that's broke today. So a lot of these people thinking about their futures. They don't want nobody else to get paid off of their image. So you got to understand that a lot of people they just don't want to understand. They just, I hate to say it, y'all cheap. You think somebody owe you something? Start with the nonsense. If these companies are charging you for DLC, that's how they got the boxers. I know for a fact, and it's another one of my big arguments. You don't know Poe. You think you know everything. I do know. I really do know. I was helped getting boxers for EA and for round. And I helped Ty Grisham with some of the boxes he got. So I know exactly the whole setup. Some boxes they want a percentage of the DLC. Some boxes want royalties, and I forget the other one, but they want money. Y'all think cause y'all got Canelo for free in the game that he did it for free? No, he didn't. Steel City had to pay for Canelo to be in the game. They had to pay for Tyson Fury to be in the game. So that's a big lump of money. And my thing is, this is one of the conversations I want to talk about is if that DLC doesn't sell the way it should, Steel City is going to have a hard time staying afloat. For one, they got, I know I always say this, they got they got 3 buildings they're working out of. Then they got the staff they got to pay for. Then they got to pay. I don't know if their outsourcing was just a one-time deal, but outsourcing. All companies do outsourcing. I didn't know that at first, but when I was dealing with EA, I seen that they were outsourcing too. But fans got to stop thinking everything is free. Like this another thing fans keep saying. They should give us the game for free and let us pay for customizations and stuff like that. Stop, man. You trying to hustle the company. For one, Steel City, even though I'm mad at Steel City and I'm really, upset at their direction, I'm still right is right and wrong is wrong. People keep acting like Steel City is a billion-dollar company. EA is a multi-billion-dollar company. 2K is a multi-billion-dollar company. They got more than one game that's bringing money in. Steel City has one game bringing money in. Got to think of a lot of people just don't care. They really don't care. No matter how many times I say this or other people say it, they really don't care. And my thing is, you really don't care, but once this game is no longer in existence, then what do you have? Oh, you're going to play Fight Night Champion forever. And my thing is, as a community, if people come together and talk about what need to be improved, the company going to listen. I learned that from a couple of the EA devs. They say if y'all come in unison about what should be fixed, y'all can push the investors and the CEOs to give y'all the game y'all want. And I'm not telling no name because I don't want to get them in trouble. I don't know how the NDA is, but I don't want to put his name or the other developer's name out there. But they said if you come together on what you really want and y'all push that what y'all want and y'all keep talking about it, EA has no choice but to listen. And my thing, that's the same thing with Undisputed. Because Undisputed, they got investors, publishers. A lot of them will help crafting the game. They're helping this game be what we don't want. Because they keep going by things 20 years ago, the way things were 20 years ago. Arcade games are not selling today. They really are. No matter how much you like the nostalgia and you like your arcade games, the memories that it gave you, they're not really selling that well, especially sports games. And they refuse to give you options like give us arcade version, option, a hybrid option, and a realistic sim version. Why can't you give us that? It's like they try to force you to play a certain way and try to lump up. And then you got some fans, they're the worst. You'll believe that they know about game development. They tell you, oh, you're going to split the community in half. So you mean you're going to force somebody to play a way that they don't want to play? A lot of people feel the same way I do. If I don't like something, I'm not playing it. I'm not going to force myself to play something I don't like. That's just me. And that's just some other people that think similar to the way I think. I'm not playing nothing I do not like. I didn't like Fight Night Champion. EA tried to give me a copy. No, I don't want it. But you ain't played the game. So you mean to tell me what I see other people playing on YouTube is going to be different once I get my hand on it? Nah, I highly doubt that. I played Undisputed, the betas and stuff. Played a couple of games after that. I start seeing the change coming on. And people saying, but Poe, you don't play the game. So you're complaining and you want me to complain because of what? I see the game is bad. What am I going to do to make the game better? They say, oh, you're going to have a better way to explain it to people. You don't play the game, so you can't really say nothing. Yes, I can. I see it. They're like you saying you can't look at a movie and have a opinion about it. I have an opinion about Undisputed. I don't like it. I really don't like what I see. I like what I played in the beta, but I don't like what I see now. And I can't force myself to like something. It was never me. That's not my character. Like a lot of y'all be like, oh, Poe be lying a lot and stuff. I don't lie. Why should I lie? I'm not scared of nobody. I'm not scared of nobody. What I'm be scared of? Somebody on a computer screen? What I'm gonna be scared of? What I'm scared I'm gonna hurt your feelings. It's crazy how y'all be saying stuff. I don't fear nobody. Yeah, I don't like arguing with people a lot. That's a definite. Because my thing is, if I gotta argue with you and you talking slick to me and I can't touch you, that's the aggravation. Because if you talking slick to me, now I want to punch you in the face, but you're nowhere. You're on the other side of the screen. So stop telling me I need to give my opinion about something that I don't like. I don't like Undisputed. I really don't like Undisputed the way it is. It got potential, but why I'm gonna get a headache for a game that has potential? I knew what Undisputed is supposed to have been. But y'all say, oh, Poe, you being extreme. To you. Because you accepting things. The game is never going to get better because everybody's too quiet and they like that they got a game. That's what they say. Oh, Poe, you shouldn't be upset. We got a game. Man, go play Fight Night. What's up, Leafy? What's up, Aaron? Era Jones. See, you confuse me with these names. Is that your name or you got three other names, Aaron? Aaron Jones. Um, yeah, it makes no sense that we can't come together. We can't come together and be on one, have one mindset about how we want things to be done. And then we force in Steel City Hand. And like I said, was saying earlier about the content creator thing, it's not for us. It's for the content creators. It's definitely not for us. It's to help sell more copies. All right. Yeah, because me and somebody was arguing about your name. Said you got like 15 names. No, I'm like, I'm joking. But yeah, yeah, it's a lot of talk in the community. Like a lot of people talk to me. They talk to me like I'm the oracle of the boxing game. Everybody always in my DM. But what you think about the content creator event? And I give my opinion. It's not, my opinion may hurt somebody's feelings, and I respect the people that don't get upset about my opinions because that's my opinion. I'm being truthful. Why should I lie? Why should I lie? I feel that the content creator event is to help promote this game more because Steel City about to lose money. They're about to lose a lot of money because the DLC is not going to. They're going to stop selling. People are moving away from this game. It's too many games that's coming out. There are a lot of games that's coming out that's going to pull them away from the game. If this game was good, it won't pull nobody away. They probably play that game and they'll play this game. But still, I mean, Undisputed is not what fans wanted. And a lot of people try to force it to be what it's not. A lot of people say, oh, it just need a couple of tweaks and stuff. No, it don't. It need a lot of work. It's a lot of things that's missing, basic things. I see games 20, 15, 20 years ago that have more features and modes than what Steel City have. And they keep saying, oh, we're a new team. Come on, man. 5 years in, you're not a new team. Yeah, it need a lot of work. They keep using that we're a new team. That wore off like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. You're not a new team. I seen complete games in 5 years working on a second game. They got to stop with the excuses. We're not children. All of us is not children. You got some children in the Discord. You got young kids in the Discord, but everybody is not a child. Everybody's not ignorant. Let me stop saying, a child, I'm saying everybody not a child. Everybody is not stupid. I'll put it that way. Everybody's not stupid. They say things, and I'm like, you really saying that? Like we're stupid? Like we don't understand stuff? Makes no sense. And I'm wondering, and what I'm really bugging out off of, they putting out all this money for this event, or I don't know if they're being sponsored, but for this event they plan for the boxing, the tickets for the fights, they renting out a hall for the event, stuff like that. But you can't hire better developers. They can't even get they trying to find a community manager. They can't get a community manager because people are watching this game. I keep telling them, everybody like, oh, Paul, you think you know everything. No, I ask questions. One thing y'all need to look at go on LinkedIn and you might see me talking to a developer or something. A lot of these developers from other companies and even the CEOs, they're watching what Steel City is doing to see what they can do better, or if they should make a game. And it just puzzles me was while they got all these people getting free money, that's what they getting, free money, and they're not making the game better. They're Q&A testers, free money. free money. They getting free money because all these bugs are getting through. And my thing is, you picking the wrong Q&A people. The Q&A person should be, which you should put in your when you hiring somebody, you should put that they should have knowledge of boxing. A lot of these guys that's doing the Q&A testing, they're fighting game people. A fighting game and a boxing game are two different things. No matter how people try to twist it, they're two different things. Even though they trying to make Undisputed comparable to a fighting game. I had one of the testers ask me why I'm not a tester yet. What was your answer? Yeah, because if I'd have been a tester, they'd have hate me. Just like I wrote an article, Steel City would never invite me to anything. I'm too opinionated. Their thing is, why would they invite me to anything that I'm opinionated about? My thing is, and I'm not lying for you. I tell people that all the time. I do not lie, even though you might say, "Oh, everybody lies." I'm not lying unless somebody trying to kill me or kill somebody in my family. Other than that, I'm not lying. Why? I'm not scared of nobody. What I'm gonna be scared of? Let me see. 100%. The testers need to be solely people who are fans of boxing, passionate about boxing, and actually box themselves. SCI should be pushing this game towards a simulation, not a simcade or sim hybrid. Aaron Jones said they get their feelings hurt from my opinion. They hate me as a tester. Yeah, that's exactly it. Because people was asking me, say, "Bro, be a tester." Yeah, right. That's not gonna happen. They're not gonna let me be a tester. They barely want me to even talk. I was shocked they let me back in the Discord. And I'm not talking like that's a bad thing, but I'm shocked they let me back in the Discord. Yeah. Oh yeah, Leafy. What did Gub say about being on the podcast? What is he gonna come on there or not? That'd be a crazy show. Cause you know, man, Gub, we always bump heads. Cause he acts like we are both want the same thing, but we definitely don't want the same thing. Because my thing is, if you're a, let me see, I don't think I asked him, but let me try to find a message from him. I'll be kind of shocked if he popped up on the show. Yeah, you asked him. I think 2 or 3 days ago. I saw you say, "Gov, you coming on the show?" And I laughed. I thought he responded to you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to get. I'm all right with some of the old mods coming on the show. It's just that they can't come on there trying to dictate anything to me. You know, I start getting because I be feeling like they be trying to talk down to us like we children. I'm a grown man. Yeah. See, look. See, Joker's telling me. See, my clothes are super big on me. It's like you ever see the Nutty Professor? How his clothes was fitting on him. That's how my clothes fit on him. That's why I be like, people tell you what's going on in your life, and because everything that this is what I be telling about scientists and doctors. Many of them are paid for their information. They're paid to tell you certain things. Scientists get paid. They're not going to tell you the truth about everything. It's whoever had the highest price for them to let out certain information. Like you telling me I can't lose a certain amount of weight in a month. I did it numerous times. One time when I was on the lemonade diet, it's called the lemonade diet. It's called the master cleanse. I lost a lot of weight. I went from I think I was a 40, 45 in my waist. I went down to a size 30, I think. So you can't tell me about certain things. People always think I'm lying and I gotta make up some type of lie. Why? I don't care about what people think. Why am I'm lying? Well, I'm lying about certain things. Oh, you lying about EA? All right. That's why when you go on LinkedIn, you see everybody from people from EA. They always talking to me. They always, they like my stuff or they say little things. I don't have no reason to lie. It's just one thing about me that EA know about me, and that's why it's hard for me to get interviews with the devs because they know I'm very opinionated and I know how to ask questions that will make them give information that shouldn't be out. The guy that's his name Davenport, the guy named Davenport, he asking me to do the interview. He said, yeah, I come on your show and you can interview me and I could give you some pointers about stuff and tell you some information. He said, just not no information about games. And I said, I know that. I would never ask you about stuff like that. I'm probably worded in a way that make him I might ask him to give me some type of information. All right, I asked him if he'll be okay joining us tomorrow. Let's see what he says. I think it'll be an interesting dynamic to hear what he thinks. It'll even be more interesting if the Beast show up. Yeah, that's tomorrow's show might be, crazy. Yeah, but oh yeah, I got Crooks the Gang. You both that interview me. I don't know what happened, but then I kind of see why you didn't want to interview me because all of y'all want me to think the same way y'all think. I can't like this game. I'm not trying to get famous off of YouTube and stuff like that. I'm not really not. I just want other people to speak up. That's why I talk to you, because talk to you can speak and people can hear your opinions. That's the only thing I don't like about YouTube. Like people can't come on here and like verbally express how they feel about the game. My thing is I was always a community guy. That's why EA gave me that title, community leader. Bro, let me ask Beast on our PlayStation messages. Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. Yeah, yeah, I'm trying. I just want the community to do better and be better. A lot of people, the Discord is all over the place. It's like everybody this that. Some of them become fans when certain people come in the Discord. I'm like, yo, y'all really don't want this game to get better, and I think that's tactically what they trying to do. They don't want this game to get better. Like it's a lot of MMA fans. They are too opinionated about a boxing game. When I see a lot of times they're more playing UFC games or talking MMA stuff than they are boxing. So my thing is, why are you speaking for us? Yeah, there's too many different opinions on how realism should be. What Undisputed currently feels like, whether the game is good or bad. There's too many mixed signals in the chat and tons of arguments. Exactly. Like a lot of people keep saying what they feel vulnerability is. And I'm keep saying what is they keep using that word. We need vulnerability in the game. What is it to you? Because me as a person that's a boxer, I mean that box, the way I see a lot of y'all say, that's not vulnerability. I only seen like two or three people explain it the way it should be explained. Vulnerability should be when you feel that you're going to get hit again in the same spot. When you get dazed or stunned, that's vulnerability. You don't want to get, you don't want to feel that again. You don't want your boxer to feel that again. Vulnerability, you get hit to the body. A lot of people complain. There's another topic. See, I'm going all over the place. Like they keep saying, the body spam, the jabbing to the body spam. You gotta realize people would like Floyd. I seen Floyd throw 3 body jabs, and he probably would have threw more if the guy didn't put his hands down or he blocked it. Now, if if Steel City had defensive measures in there for certain things, we wouldn't have to worry about all the spamming stuff. Like I keep saying, I was a heavyweight when I boxed, and sometimes I sparred people that was lighter than me because they were more advanced than me in boxing. But I knew when they were throwing a lot of punches, not spamming punches, they were throwing a lot of punches, which a lot of casual people would call spamming. I will grab them, pull them close and grab them, then push them off. They got to reset. We don't have that in the game. These are things that stops a person from spamming stuff. Everybody they say this is spam, 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 but you want to lower the punch count and you want to lower certain things. That's not how you fix it. What do you do defensively to stop spamming punches? If you let a person hit you in the head 15 or 20 times, that's on you. It literally is on you. You can spam a punches. I was taught to spam punches when I was boxing. Throw a jab, throw it until your arm almost fall off. Jab, 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 jab. And if you open for a right hand constantly, I'm a jab, jab, and hit you with 2 right hands back to back. Because you didn't block my right hand. Two of the big things that will fix the spam would be implementing a clinch mechanic and having better animations, better underlying physics models to stop sliding around. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And my thing is like these people. It's a lot of people that claim to be boxing fans, but they can't get boxing knowledge. That's why I keep saying I can train people, which I did for a while. I could train somebody. I trained somebody and they became a diamond glove champion. But I fell out of love with training people because it was trauma to me because for one, I love boxing and I wanted to box again. But I didn't want to put myself through that, I'm too old or, different things like that, being boxing. And plus my uncle, he was my trainer and my brother was my trainer. Both of them no longer here. That's trauma to me. It's just a lot about it. A lot of people don't understand things. They're like, man, you get in that gym, man, you'll feel good and stuff. Nah. My son even saw, I took my son to a boxing match. Everybody knew me there. They had a big thing. They had introduced me as, 3-time this and 3-time that and my friend, he's Indigo's 7. He was also a moderator, but he was a referee and timekeeper. And he got them to introduce me and stuff like that. And my son's like, "What's wrong?" I said, "Yo, it got me emotional because I wasn't expecting that." And then I start thinking about my uncle and my brother. So these are things where I'm not training people now. And with training could take your life. Like my uncle, he was married. His wife left him. They were married for I think 30 years, but he was so focused on the gym. He was focused on me, like people like me. We had another guy's name was Tiger Martinez. He fought Nate Campbell. He was from my gym, and he is too much focus. Boxing will take your life. If your family is not involved in it, it will take your life. And I was like, Dad, like my brother, peace and blessings be upon him. His thing was once he, retired from being a police officer, he was gonna we was gonna open a gym together because he know he couldn't have did both because the focus, traveling, and all these different things that boxing wants you to do. Because I remember one time Shannon Briggs came down to our gym. Me and Shannon good friends. Shannon came down to the gym and he was talking to my brother. He like wanted him to show him a couple of things. Yeah, it's just I want this game to get better, but I'm not gonna touch it because I don't wanna keep trying to force myself to like something I don't like. I don't like, and it's gonna just get worse and worse and worse. And my thing is, Steel City got to pull it together quickly, especially before the holidays. Once the holidays hit, I think it's like really downhill. And they got and it's like they scrambling to make things work. The I don't think the content creator event is gonna really do anything to push the numbers back up. Because at this point, they can't worry about selling games because whoever's gonna buy the game bought the game already. So their thing is getting the DLC out, and who's really gonna buy the DLC now that they know that a lot of the boxes are not gonna really fight like themselves. Manuel Gusto was unique, and like what I tell people, they say I be nitpicking. They only giving you a couple of things that the person do when if they had, like I say, if they have tendency sliders and capabilities and stuff like that, the player can mold the boxer to look realistic to his style. It's basically like what NBA 2K does. NBA 2K, you got people that they mod and they do the tendency sliders and stuff like that, and the player looks like they play like the character they supposed to be. Still says like they doing the EA thing by trying to dumb down, like they dumb down the offline modes. Let me see. Percy, the creative event should have been done before the official release of the game, or when we were in the days of ESBC, to really show off how it looked when it was fully realistic. Man, if they would have did that, they couldn't because they want to hide. They want to hide that ESBC ever exists. And I don't think it's they. I think it's one person in particular trying to hide that um, ESBC ever existed. Because when he talked, he said he didn't understand what um, ESBC was, and then they changed the model. Why did you change the model? The graphics, everything looks different. They look watered down. And then they keep saying it was hard to implement stuff on PlayStation 5 and Xbox, I think. Why? It's a lot of games that, you know, they put stuff on PlayStation 5 or PlayStation and Xbox. That's an excuse. That's a huge excuse. Because especially like I keep saying, there's so many people in looking for jobs. Like in the industry, there are a lot of people looking for jobs. There are very talented developers on LinkedIn and what's that? It's called Windows something. But it's so many developers always because I'm always looking for these people. Even on LinkedIn, I share their profiles with other companies. I just do it just to help them get jobs. And a lot of them, even with Steel City, it's 3 people I know on Steel City before Steel City got the way they is. I helped them get that job because I tagged them into the Steel City what is it for them to get a job. And then I'm like, Dad, I be helping all these people and everybody like I don't exist. Even though I don't care, it's like, yo, stop acting like I didn't look out for you. Let me see. That one guy who got hired changed it to be more casual friendly. And that's crazy. Cause to me, the logic doesn't add up because you know that casual fans, not to talk bad about you casual fans, but truth is truth. Casual fans don't stay with a game that long. They go to the next hot game. The next game that, fun. That's fun. And they'll lead this game. Now the hardcore fans, they're gonna stay with the game if it's fixed and it's the way it's supposed to be. They stay with the game longer. And they buy most of the DLC. The casual fans not, because they only know the stars that that they see on TV. See, this is why I say, even though I didn't like what EA was doing, I made a lot of boxing fans out of the community, the EA community. Many of them, they're huge boxing fans now. A lot of them even got channels. So a boxing game can make you a hardcore boxing fan. Not saying that Fight Night Champion did that, but my thing was I got people doing research on certain boxers. They're like, who's this boxer and that boxer? A lot of people, they don't care about certain boxers unless they're being talked about. Let me see. Yeah, they're like the frog and Frogger. They leap around from pad to pad when new pads appear. Exactly. Man, what you know about Frogger? That's an old school game when I was little. Used to be bagging up people groceries to get a couple of quarters so I could play that game. I will also say he like EA MMA over THQ. Yeah. My dad is old school and he told me about the games on the Target. Yeah. Yeah. Man, I was trying to get Atari to make a boxing game. The guy told me, man, he said, we really don't make games. Yeah, y'all made games. He said, no, we made consoles. We didn't really make games like ColecoVision and all that. They like these other companies, they made games for the Atari. I say, oh, but y'all making games now, and I was trying to get them to make a boxing game. See, people don't really know how much I be, out there. I'm like, well, Steel City don't make a realistic boxing game. I start going on LinkedIn or going wherever I know developers hang out at. I make it my duty to find out where they got a place where all developers hang out at. Even on LinkedIn, they got little side groups. I go in them side groups. They be thinking I'm a developer or something. I just pop in there and say, yeah, any of y'all making a boxing game? They be like, why you ask? You should make it. People always say that. Even the guy from Wicked Witch, he thought I was a developer. And he said, you should make the boxing game that you want. He said, you got a lot of great ideas. He said, you should make the game. He said, I would invest in you. I said, oh, sweat. But then I got a little nervous. I was like, Dad, I'm gonna get all that money the guy gonna probably give me to make a boxing game, but I don't have any knowledge about, like real knowledge of how to set everything up. Now I feel like a fool because Ash felt the same way, and look what Ash got. And I was like, Dad. And I hooked him up with the guy from Round for Round. Now that like burnt my bridges. Because I was like, since I don't really have that much skill, and so, even though the guy in Round for Round didn't either, but he was a better talker than I was. And I hooked him up with Wicked Witch, the guy, the founder of Wicked Witch. And I think, yeah, they changed their name because he messed up their name. But I don't know, he did some grimy stuff or whatever. But I left because I seen that shit was about to sink. And I was hoping that Steel City pulled me in some type of way. Yeah, it's just crazy. See, I don't want to stay up too late because I got to get up for tomorrow's show. But yeah, with the creative thing, I know we talked about it, but I really hope that the creators like really talk to Ash, really say something, speak on our behalf. I just hope everybody don't get there and be like what they call starstruck and stuff like that. It's just like I'm like, yo, 'cause you know what the funniest thing that happened to me before when I went to an EA event for Mike Tyson movie and Brizzle, Brian Hayes. He's a huge Joe Lewis fan. I mean Joe Frazier fan. And I was talking to Joe Frazier because my brother used to train in Joe Frazier's gym. Joe Frazier and what's his name? I can't remember his name right now, but they're both trainers together. And George Benton, Joe Frazier and George Benton was they were trainers together, and then they went and did their own thing. So I was talking to Joe Frazier. I said, "Yeah, you remember my brother used to train with you and stuff?" So he was like, "Yeah." And Brizzle was scared. He was starstruck when he seen Joe Frazier. I'm like, "Daggone, y'all got Joe Frazier in your games, and you starstruck when you see him." I said, "You could tell he ain't do no motion caption." He was like a little kid seeing their favorite star. I was like, "Yo, man, you ain't gonna say nothing to him?" He said, "No, I'm gonna say something, but not right now." I said, "Yo, that was crazy." My thing is, when I see Mike Tyson, I was kind of starstruck, but I was like, Dad. I always, when I was boxing, I always was like, Tyson was my goal to fight Mike Tyson. Some people was calling me Mike Tyson because I was knocking out people. My style. Not I to me I ain't had no Mike Tyson style. I fought more like Holyfield because my trainer he had a Philly style. He knew George Benton and Joe Frazier and all of them. So he had like a Philly style of teaching us. Yeah, so I don't know. So what's going on, guys? I see 4 people in, or I just got people watching. So what's going on? Yeah, so just show up tomorrow, guys. Show up tomorrow to the talk show. I'm gonna post it in Twitter. Nothing much, just hanging out and working on Pound. Yeah, I'm glad you're still working on it. Yeah, yeah, just show up to the talk show because I'm gonna post it on Twitter, Facebook, and well, I'm gonna post it on what's that? Yeah, I'm gonna post it on LinkedIn, and I'll post it on the heck. I got so many social media sites, I be forgetting all of them. Instagram. Yeah, it feels very good so far. It's not great, but mechanics wise, it feels pretty good. That's great. That's good. Yeah, that's a good thing. I'm glad you talked to the beast, and AJ Pax talked to the beast too. I heard they talked like 3 hours. Yeah, my thing is, before it's all said and done, I just want the community to come together and ask for a game that respects all of us. Oh, I mean, all everything that everybody wants. Options. Everybody keeps saying I'm pro sim and all that. Yeah, I am, but I'm also pro community, pro options. They keep saying, "Oh, they can't do that." Yes, they can. They can add options. They say, "Oh, it's gonna take too long." Long like these 5 years with nothing really changing. That whole 5 years, they could have been at options and everything else. And when it comes to the clinching, they stopped after a couple of days. It's like they really didn't work on clinching. It's like they didn't want it in the game. Matter of fact, I actually heard somebody say, "Don't put clinching in the game because that's what people gonna do." That's boxing. People be bugging me out. They'll talk about they don't like clinching in a boxing game, but they love UFC. Make sense out of that for me. There always was clinching in boxing. People be like, "Oh, all that clinching." Look at a fight in 1940, 1950, 1960. Clinching always existed. And I seen clinching lasted a little longer than what we see now. So stop with the nonsense. Maybe we could test it tonight with Parsec. Let me see. Oh, me and the Beast had some good talks yesterday and the night before. It was a pretty nice talk about Undisputed. I hope I can talk to him again tonight about coming on the podcast and how my game should be. Maybe you could test it tonight with Parsec. What? Why wouldn't they want clinching in the game? Exactly. It makes no sense. That's if you really think about it, because I know why the whoever idea that was on the team, it was to keep the game flow. Because if you clinch, you stop in the flow. But what happened is now you got all this spamming people keep talking about. If you clinch, you break all that up. They got to reset. It wasn't that much spamming, and I don't think you really heard nobody complain about spamming in the betas. Really didn't. I really don't remember it. Let me see. I heard someone in the service say the clinch could be easily spammed. Oh, that was good. And asked him how. And I know what he's trying to get at. That people gonna keep clinching and clinching, clinching. There's ways to stop somebody from clinching with you. There actually should be a clinching game. Because with clinching, a lot of people try to get different positions. They try to, break clinches and stuff like that. So clinching is not just, you grab, because they go on by what they see in past games. We're in a modern era. Clinching should be implemented better. Watch a boxing match, a good boxing match to watch. John Ruiz, not Andy Ruiz, John Ruiz. He was known for clinching people, but they got out of his clinches. That what people fail to realize. There's ways to break clinches. And matter of fact, you clinch too much, the referee gonna break you. So they gotta reset. When you talking about you could spam clinching, that's kind of crazy to me because when you spam something, it's back to back to backs. When people clinching, it's like a little break between that, and then they clinch again. People gotta. Sometimes it's good to learn things about boxing instead of just making up your own rules about boxing. That's why I get upset when people argue with me about boxing and they never stepped in the ring. Stop arguing with me. Argue with somebody else. I've been in the ring. I met a lot of great people that were boxers. I met and then it just popped in my head the other day. I said, hold up. I met Floyd Patterson. It was an outside event. I met Floyd Patterson. Talked to him. I talked to Emo Griffin. I talked to a lot of legends. And it just started popping up. Oh, what's up, AJ? Yeah. AJ said it's caused the clinching and boxing video game history has been a static kind of movement. Yeah. But it's no excuse for developers now. That's why I keep saying everybody keep making excuses or repeating what developers are saying. Everything you want in a boxing game can be implemented. And that's not just me saying it. That's what a developer told me. No, not one developer, more than one developer told me. He said technology today is so advanced. You can literally put anything you want in a game. If they can't put it in the game, it's because they didn't have time or they were rushing to do something else. And I'd rather for a company to tell me that than just say, nah, we're not putting it in the game. Oh, it's too hard to put in. When they say that it was hard to implement the clinching, that's a lie. Because the clinching looked kind of decent. Like all they had to do is tweak it a little bit. Inside fighting, it looked beautiful. Just needed some tweaks. They stopped messing with that. No boxing game, I believe, has attempted to introduce grappling mechanics. Um, yeah, but when you look at like I'll use as the example, when you look at UFC, they have grappling in it. So that means if they could do it for UFC, they could do something similar for a boxing game. And actually, Brizzo said something. He said it's a lot of things that when he said it 2 games ago, two UFCs ago. He says a lot of things in these games that we could add that help us with a new fight night. And he kept asking EA, he kept asking. I guess he got tired, and that's why one of the reasons he left and went to another company. But he was like literally saying, he said it's like literally, I think 2 or 3 times a week I'm asking them, when are we gonna work on a boxing game? When is we gonna work on a boxing game? And they just they ignored them. Let me see. No boxing game I believe has attempted to introduce grappling mechanic. Grappling is probably more associated with the uses of open hands. Yeah, with open hands, but the clenching, it can be done. I've seen a lot of games that got clenching right in older games. Yeah, it's gripping with hands, but it's a grappling looking mechanic. When you see them grabbing somebody, it's like a mechanic. It's like a clinching mechanic. Even when you see them grab somebody, the throw them, against the cage or something like that. That's clinching. In boxing, it will be grappling with gloves, but for the purpose of collision. When you said collisions and fighting inside, yeah. Um, that's another thing. Like the collision and all that. They keep saying all the collision and boxing. I mean, and the video games and stuff. That has toned down a lot in game. If it is, that's because the person is not educated in that, you know, in those things. Because it's a lot of things you could do now that I'm like, yo, that's like when they kept saying the robes and stuff was hard to implement. That's a lie. That's a lie. Robes are easy to put in the game. If not, Fight Night wouldn't have robes in the game. Um, Don King Prize Fighter wouldn't have robes in the game. But I remember you could make even a Mike Tyson towel in the game, and you could make it any color you want. I think. I wonder if Brizzo would be willing to work with an indie studio or a new studio on a boxing game to bring his ideas to the table as a what if. There was a new Fight Night, but more realistic. Yeah, I was always hoping that too, because I'm kind of glad that I didn't get him because I was trying to get him to help round for round, and he was just happy that because his thing was if round for round would have been successful, it would have made EA want to make a boxing game. But round for round died out. Then Undisputed, ESBC and Undisputed came out. Then Brizzo, I guess he was still asking, because I used to ask him I was like asking him almost every, about twice a week, what did he think about Undisputed? I mean, ESBC. He said, I really like what I'm seeing. And he was excited about that video that got 1 million views. He was really excited. And a lot of them developers, they were like, well, if this team is an indie team and they making graphics look like that and the gameplay looks like that, EA got to do better. They got to make it look better, or they're gonna try to buy the team, which they tried twice. They tried to buy ESBC twice. You ever wonder if 60 PF is more than enough for realism? No, no. Because when you look at, that's a good question though. But when you look at Still City, they have a very low FPS. I guess that's what I call it, or whatever it is. It's very low compared to what a triple A or double A company is using. But they're complaining a lot about stuff, and I'm like, y'all not even pushing the hardware. They're not really pushing the hardware that they're using. And I remember early in development, I was talking to somebody from PlayStation, one of the CEOs or whoever, and they said they were going to help um, Still City. And they was also trying to help on Round for Round, but Round for Round, they saw right through Round for Round because Round for Round did not have a working model. I think on Steam you can get 120 FPS. But if that is the case, then you are right. They ain't pushing. They're not pushing the game. It's too low. And my thing is now I'm focused. I'm like kind of like my mind is like, what are they going to do when they upgrade this system to Unreal Engine? If that's the case, which I'm pretty sure that is the case. So what are they going to do? Is they going to push the game, or are they going to just do bare minimum with the game? Because with Undisputed, 2 or whatever they're going to do it, it has to come with all these features that's missing. It has to be a better product because a lot of people going to be looking for every little crack in the armor, every little crack. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, Leafy, did you talk to Beast yet? AJ Pax, what you think about the content creator event? Yeah, he should be up because the time difference is different. Yeah, I think so too. Because to my point, I mean, the point that I'm trying to make is it's too late for that content creator event. Yeah, well, I'm in it. I'm a moderator that's not really there, but I'm in the league. Just to look around and stuff. I guess they felt my presence was needed. I don't know. I don't know why I'm there if it's private and stuff. But and my thing, this another thing I want to say to people. Don't try to get close to me or anything thinking you could change my mind. Nobody can change my mind. For one, I'm very stubborn. And my thing is I make sure what I'm saying is valid. If not, I'm gonna apologize and move on. But don't friend me and then be, all right, Poe. You try to shape how I think. Nobody can do that. It is. That's exactly what it is. It's an advertisement tool because at this time, because they trying right now, the game is not going to sell anymore. It's going to probably sell 1 or 2 copies or something like that, if anything. But they got to make sure this DLC sells. And they made up a story. I was talking about. I think I was talking about it on the show. They made up this big story that boxers were something was coming up with the contracts and stuff. Yeah, something did come up with the contracts. They've been waiting 5 years to be in the game. That's what came up with the contracts. Talking about they try to. I'm like, stop lying to us like we're little kids. Boxers was getting tired of waiting to be in a game. A lot of them telling their family and their kids, "Yo, I'm about to be in a boxing game," and they're not seeing any movement. Let me see. Anyone remembers what JMMA Box Rec was in his league play? No. It is a JMMA league, JMMA in a circle. I don't know. I don't be paying attention to stuff like that. Maybe if I was playing, I would, but I don't really be paying attention to stuff like that. And my thing is, I'm glad you brought that up. Box Rec and CompuBox. Steel City is not using it to this full potential. And my thing is, why did you got Box Rec in your game and you're not using it the way Box Rec is intended to be used? For online play and offline play, they should use Box Rec better than that. I'm pretty sure if 2K had the game, I mean, had was making a boxing game and they had Boxing Rec and CompuBox, it would be implemented better in the game. Like I say a lot of times, they should hire somebody like me to be on the team. because I know the people that they need in the company to help move the needle, to help the company be better. I think a lot of them think that I'm like Beast. Me and Beast two different people. I could be stubborn, be stubborn, and he's gonna make sure his point get across. Let me see. The Creator League has similarities to a paid focus group. Yeah, yeah. And and I'm like, I looked at everybody on that's going to that event, and they should have had at least somebody from the community that's a boxing fan. I'm not talking about me because I don't care, or I don't care if you invite me to anything, which I highly doubt they invite me to anything. But they should have had somebody that speak for the boxing fans. Because no shade on nobody, but everybody does not speak for boxing fans. Even though you know a little bit about boxing, don't mean you speak for the majority of the boxing fans. And you got to realize the boxing fans are the ones that's going to keep this game moving. The casuals going to leave. They're already leaving. There's a lot of the casual and the hardcore fans. They're leaving, and you feel like you're going to be able to bring them back. I don't think there's nothing you could do right now to bring them back unless you fix the game. A fixed game can help the DLC sell better, and it could, make the fan base grow. But it's like they're not really trying to hear that. In my opinion, the majority of those selected to go to Vegas are gatekeeping for SCI. I'm glad somebody else used that word correctly. People always be saying, "Poe, you gatekeeping." I'm gatekeeping what? What am I gatekeeping? Gatekeeping is protecting. They gatekeeping Steel City because they're protecting Steel City. I'm not. Why should I gatekeep? Because I'm talking what I know, what I experience. That's not gatekeeping. These people, a lot of these guys, they're gone because they always talk about this game. And I show no ill will to none of them. I'm not jealous of any of that stuff. A lot of people, Poe just jealous because he ain't going. Nah, not at all. Not at all. Definitely not at all. I'm not. Because if that's the case, when boxing is downtown North, I live right up the hill from downtown. I could walk there. When it's there, I could just walk there and get in for free because I know Larry Hazard. Look up who he is, and I know a lot of the boxers. I could get in for free. So why would I be worrying about going to Las Vegas? I don't really like Las Vegas anyway. But I got invited to Las Vegas a lot of times. My wife used to be like, "Let's go to Las Vegas." Nah, I'm going there for what? If it was like, back in the day, like when Tyson and stuff like that, or a major fight, yeah. But this Canelo and Terrence Crawford it doesn't do anything for me. It's nothing major. If he win, I'll be happy. Crawford win, I'll be happy, but it does nothing for me. It's like everything is a sideshow now. Quick money. What y'all think about Jake Paul and Tank? I had somebody tell me, man, Jake Paul will kick your butt. What did Jake Paul win that I didn't win? Jake Paul doesn't have an amateur background. Jake Paul never sparred the people that I sparred. But you're old. Yeah, and I took care of my body too. Every day I go walking. I took care of I don't drink, do not smoke. I take care of my body. I knock Jake Paul out. I might kick him while he down. That's a mistake. Jake Paul is fighting someone significantly shorter, lighter, and has less of a reach than him. Yeah, that's what he hoping for. And he gonna try to look good on him and everything. But it might be a shocker for Jake Paul because Tank can punch. Person that could punch and move, they're going to hurt you no matter what size you are. Sure, I knocked out a Joker in sparring. Joker was I think 400. He was big. I don't know how much he was, but he was big. And I hit that Joker. That Joker felt like a sack of potatoes. Yeah, Jake Paul is blurring him. And nobody calling him out on it. That's what gets me mad about it. Nobody really calls him out on it. And this is a thing that I wanted to talk about. Jake Paul versus Tank. No, who was that? No, Mike Tyson versus Mayweather. Tyson gonna kill Mayweather because he was taking it easy on Jake Paul. You could tell he was taking it easy on Jake Paul. He's biting his glove. When you bite your gloves and stuff like that, because you want to hit a person, but you promise not to hit him. He kept biting his glove. I'm like, yo, Tyson really want to hit this guy, but he not hitting him. They gave Tyson a nice check. I wish it was the old Tyson. Tyson like, man, bump all that. I'm knock this joke out. Because if he'd have knocked Jake Paul out, he would have got some money. Tyson was holding back during the Jake Paul fight. I hope Tyson goes all out on Mayweather. I don't know. I don't want him to beat up on Mayweather because then it's going to be a whole conversation about why he didn't do that to Jake Paul, but he's going to do it to Mayweather. Actually, let me see. Actually, it highlights two leagues: professional boxing leagues and celebrity leagues. Yeah, if it was Prime Tyson, he would have killed you. Heck yeah, he would have. A Prime Tyson, he wouldn't have cared about the money. See, the thing about now, Tyson was caring about the money. That's why I'd be like, never put yourself in a predicament that you gotta basically sell yourself, your character or whatever, just to make money. But Paul does not box good for the league he is in. That's true. That's very true. Yeah. You see, Jake Paul ain't challenging Deontay Wilder. Hey, I would be like Deontay Wilder got knocked down a couple of times. Tyson Fury beat him, then Zane beat him. But Jake Paul is smart. He know Deontay Wilder has a good chance of killing him. If money is good, anything will happen. But how good does Paul boxing go? JPEG. He fights has been an MMA fighters. Yeah, he tried to use that as an excuse. He talk about everybody fought bombs. Nah, son. I remember when Shane Mosley first boxed, he didn't fight bombs. There's quite a few boxers that did not fight bombs. And a lot of the boxers that Tyson fought were not bombs. They were bombs to you because you don't know boxing. But Tyson fought a lot of people that were good. Like what's his name? Mitch Green would knock Jake Paul head off. Well, that was so many boxes that Tyson fought. You can't put himself in that same predicament. You keep trying to say all these people fought certain fighters. If anybody, Julio Cesar Chavez, that's who you should be talking about. Fought a whole lot of bums. That's how he built up his record, and then he started fighting good fighters. But he didn't start off fighting good fighters. He fought a lot of he started mixing them up. But how? Let me see. Yeah, why not fight people in their primes at his age? Weight and height. Let's see what happens to Paul when he fights Wilder. Man, Wilder killed that joke. The money Paul fights generate, would you consider him a prize fighter? That's the definition of a prize fighter. But Jake Paul, he let Tommy Fury beat him. Put it that way. And to me, Tommy Fury is a bum. He really is a bum. Because his heart is not into boxing. Watch Tyson Fury, I probably beat him up if he's my brother and he wasting the family name. I've been trying to get Stephen Fulton to confirm if he's going to be in the game. Ain't heard nothing. Keyshawn too. Both of them supposed to be in the game, but long because I think they got Stephen Fulton early because Stephen Fulton was in he was in round for round. We had him. I remember we got him, but he's in the game. But I think they probably renegotiating because Steel City waited 5 years to start implementing boxes into the game. You don't see them talking about the MMA people. They signed early in the game because they were placeholders. I don't think we ever going to see them MMA people in the game because right about now would have been the right time to implement them, like one each each time they do a give us a DLC. I have been trying. Let me see which primes we talking about. We talking about WBC, WBO, IBF primes. Tyson was doing good for a while until he started like once he didn't have nobody to check him, keep him, from doing crazy stuff. Tyson started like kind of going downhill. He had nobody like everybody was scared of Tyson because in my gym we had a guy that was boxing for us, and his I think his uncle or father was a bodyguard for Mike Tyson. And he was like Tyson used to love partying. If nobody's not really watching him and stuff, this was before Custom Model passed away. And he said if nobody's really paying attention to Tyson or watching him, Tyson would do some crazy stuff. He had to always have somebody watching him. And but Tyson, I think Tyson and he would have survived in this era. Even though the heavyweights are bigger now than they were back, years ago, but I think he still would have survived. Because Usyk proved that the smaller heavyweights would have did good in this era. Also, did you see the after Usyk fought Dubois in the second fight? He made a tweet saying he wanted to do an MMA fight with him with a bum. Yeah, you see, he switched it up instead of saying boxing. He talking about MMA. What's good? Respect the game. Appreciate you, man. I remember Fulton during the ESBC era, but they had him listed as UK instead of USA. I don't know if you seen that early on. Keyshawn I saw say he has big news with Undisputed coming soon, but that was a while ago. Yeah, I remember that too. And what years was it we started seeing the transition to super heavyweights? I never seen super heavyweight in boxing. In mainstream boxing, only in amateurs. That's the only seen super heavyweights in amateurs. Like me, I was a super heavyweight. I was a heavyweight, but if I was fighting in the pros at the weight I was, it'd have been light heavyweight or cruiserweight. Super heavyweight and amateurs is anything over, I think, 205 or 210, something like that. That's super heavyweight. Shannon was fighting super heavyweight because he always thought, man, we fought in the amateurs. I said, man, you know, fought in the amateurs. And he switched it to MMA because he's scared to box a guy with crazy power and will never hold back against Paul. Nope, I think Usyk can knock him out. You know who I would like to see Jake Paul fight, and they haven't fought in a while? Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz would kill Jake Paul. It was around the time of the Klitschko brothers. That must be a European thing because we never had super heavyweights, and the closest they ever talked about another weight class with the bridger weight. Other than that, I never seen nothing go above. They was having the conversations, but they never implemented super heavyweights in the thing because they were saying, yeah, they should have a super heavyweight. That's what everybody kept saying. It should be a super heavyweight because the boxes are bigger now than they ever were. You'll see a big, you'll see a big heavyweight every once in a blue moon because Alon was either playing football or basketball, and they didn't want to box. Yeah, that would be nice to see, but I think Andy Ruiz will stop him in 2 rounds. See, Andy Ruiz better than people give him credit for. That's what I be saying. Andy Ruiz's story is similar to what's his name, Benitez, David Benitez, ben, Benavides. Dad, why I say Benitez? Benavides. Um, he was a chubby kid. He was, and Andy Ruiz lost that weight, some of that weight, and he was doing good. He's letting his hands go. Yeah, very disrespected. That's why I keep saying they keep saying boxers and the studio, but Andy Ruiz shouldn't have been disrespected like that, and a lot of these boxers shouldn't be disrespected. If you got people in the studio doing your attributes and all that, the boxers wouldn't be lacking. A good match for Jake would be against John White. Oh man, I'll pay for that. I'll pay $100 for that. John White, I think John White will beat the brakes off him. Personally, I want to fight Jake Paul. I was saying I wanted to fight him, and people said, "Man, you too old, man. Jake Paul will kick your butt and this and that." Man, come on, man. Stop disrespecting me. Jake Paul, if I sparred Jake Paul, that Joker wouldn't want to fight me. Nah, see, I don't like when people say that age thing because I see a lot of people there. If they took care of their body, they are good. I seen martial art masters in their 60s and 70s, they're kicking young people butt. I seen on YouTube, I seen an old man whoop a kick a joker butt. So I don't know about the age stuff. Now, if you're not taking care of yourself, of course you need to really be worrying about yourself. Like my sister, she's a nurse, and me and her have an argument every day, all day. She's like, yeah, you know how it is when you get old. I said, no, how it get when you get old. You're a drinker. You were a smoker. I never did that stuff. Never took drugs in my life. None of that. Closest I came is vitamins. That's it. Let me see. Just like Diego Corrales should be higher. I think he should have been around 87, 86 at least. Yeah, Diego Corrales was good. That's what I'm saying about who's doing their ratings and stuff. And they hate to admit, because they always figure that the developers could do that too. No, that's not their job. Stop letting the developers guess what the ratings should be for a certain fighter. Let people who's experts at that, let them do it. Let them add that, because I know from my days playing title belt boxing, they had experts in the group. And there was one particular he does the stats and stuff. His name Jones. What's his name? Jones something. But he was doing all the stats, the tendencies and everything like that. He was one of the people helping. And it should be like 3 or 4 people that does it. That's why we keep saying, like a lot of people saying that they don't think that 2K would do a good job with a boxing game, but they got a lot of things that will work within a boxing game. And I think they don't want to fail again, because they really didn't fail, because Prize Fighter was not their game. They were just the publishers. But what I start learning is publishers have just as much say so as the owners of the game. If that's the move that they made. And with Steel City, I think the publishers have a lot to say about the way this game is being made, the publishers and investors. And when I did my research, they're not really into boxing like that. I think I would destroy him. Jake Paul versus Shaq. That'd be more funny than anything. Richard Sherman. That name sounds familiar, but I don't know who it is. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm about to take it down, because that what time is it? Yeah, it's about to be 12 o'clock, and I gotta get up and set up for tomorrow's show. I ain't even do my. I was gonna do a TikTok too. I might do a quick TikTok, and then I was going to do an hour TikTok, but I know I don't got an hour in me, because it helps get my ratings and numbers up. Yeah, yeah. But I'm about to sign off. Thanks, Leafy, Jinx, AJ, Pax. Thanks, Ara Jones. Thanks everybody that came to see it. See the podcast. The YouTube, whatever. But could y'all share this, and please show up to the show tomorrow. Please come to the talk show tomorrow. I'm trying to get this community back on track, because we're hurting ourselves. we need this game to survive because we might not see another one for a long time. And I'm not sure if EA is thinking because they were excited when you know Steel City came out, but now not so much because they see what they're doing. But my thing is, you got more experience, you can make a better game, and you see there's money in it. But all right, enough of that. I'll talk about that tomorrow. But talk to talk to y'all later today or tomorrow. Have a good night and please share the video, everybody. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.